I'd like to talk to you about riding with attitude this morning. When I say that, what I'm really saying is ride with confidence. We have a lot of riders come here needing help. They are not confident. They're not confident riders. And I used it the other day on a deal. We were sitting here and I said, it's kind of like bad boy mowers. If you've ever seen the commercials with them, it says, mow with an attitude. Well, there's a bunch of folks out there needing to ride with an attitude. And when I say attitude, the attitude is you need to be a leader. Ride being the leader of the partnership you have with your horse. Because if you are not the leader, I'll assure you your horse is going to be. And you are not going to like how he leads. It's that simple. I've had so many examples of this. Had a lady with us one time and her horse was scared of cars. We rode with her, we talked to her, and a car come by and her horse done nothing. Another car come by and her horse done nothing. Her horse just kept on going, minding its own business. Do you know who was scared of cars? It was the rider. It was the rider that was scared of cars. It wasn't the horse, but the rider was making the horse a nervous wreck when a car come by. Another problem that we have seen is somebody sitting there riding their horse and do the what if crap. What if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? And they sit there and keep thinking that until they drive themselves nuts. They're scared to death because of what if. Meanwhile, the horse is going down the trail and ain't doing nothing. But the longer the rider sits there and keeps thinking that, the more nervous the horse gets. The more anxious the horse gets. The whole thing that we're trying to do with our horses and what we all want is for our horse to relax and go down the road, go down the trail. How can the horse relax when you are not? You are the leader of the deal. So if you're nervous, if you're scared, guess what? Your horse is too. I've had horses in this barn over the last 11 years that have come here and they were really spooky. Okay, he's really spooky. What's the first thing we do to those horses? We go through our groundwork. I love these so-called horse trainers that get on Facebook and be interviewed and stuff and say, I don't do no groundwork. I find that boring and a waste of time. Really? Good. Don't do it. And whenever you try to sell a horse, I want you to go down there and try to buy it and ride it, and then I want you to come here and ride ours. Because those horses have no foundation. How can a trainer actually say that on a public forum? I mean, how can you say you don't do groundwork? Groundwork is the fundamental, basic stuff that a horse needs to have in order to go on a trail ride and have a safe, relaxed ride. So when a horse comes in here that's spooky, the first thing we do is we go through our groundwork. We throw the rope at them. We pop the whip around them. We take the flag to them. We do all this stuff. We have them go over tarps. We have them do all this stuff. And those horses that come in here that the owners say are spooky, when we go through our groundwork, I will saddle those horses up, put them in the trailer, and go to the woods by myself. And do you know what happens when I go to the woods by myself? Those horses go down the trail and don't do nothing. Why? Is because I'm an effective leader. I'm in charge. I'm riding with an attitude. My attitude is, we're going to go down this trail, and there's nothing here going to get us, so just keep your head down and go through the trail. we're sitting around babying these horses too much. We keep sitting around trying to shield them and protect them and befriend them. You know what? As far as I'm concerned, my horses, I don't know if they like me or not. But I can tell you this much. Whenever I go to the stall to get one out, he follows behind me. He goes to the saddling area. He stands there while I saddle him up. Whenever I get done, after I've had those horses a while, and we've been riding them, and we've done our foundation work, we've done our groundwork, guess what I do? I don't sit out here and lunge him for a half an hour. I step up on his back, and we go to bending. We get him soft, soft, soft. I can't say soft enough. All the horses that come in here that have problems, you know what the problem is? They have no foundation on them. They're stiff as a board. And the people are scared. That's the whole deal. That's the whole deal. That's what I'm telling y'all. You need to ride with an attitude. Your attitude needs to be, I'm going to get on you. We're going to go down this road, and everything's going to be great. It's called positive thinking. If you've done your work, and your horse has a foundation on it, and the horse knows what's expected of him, then why would you not be positive? Get in a safe area. Get in a barn. Get in a round pen, ride your horse. Find your seat. Feel your horse. The one thing that we cannot teach you here is feel. We cannot teach you feel. And we cannot teach you attitude. Those are things that you're going to have to develop on yourself. I've said it in other videos. You have a responsibility to yourself, and you have a responsibility to your horse. You need to be very clear on what you ask your horse. And if you don't know how to do it, then you need to find somebody that will help you, is what you need to do. You need to find somebody that will help you. And God help you on finding that person. Watch our Patreon page. We show everything on here. We show everything on our Patreon page. Matter of fact, I'm fixing to do a loping video here shortly. I've got 2 colts in here. Well, one of them's 5 and one of them's 2. And they're foxtrotting horses. Whenever we lope them, they want to throw their head up and take off like Secretariat and run off. Look, we're going to break this stuff all down and get these horses to relax and step into a lope. Lope off. But let me tell y'all something. If you don't like groundwork, if you don't like getting your horse soft, supple, light, if you don't like getting the body parts broke loose and stuff, don't watch the video. Because if you don't do that stuff, how can you expect your horse to understand everything? Everything rolls together. I don't care what any trainer tells you. It all rolls together. We've done too many of them here. So you need to be able to lope your horse. You riders out there that don't have no confidence, the number one thing you need to do is lope your horse. Forget all this crap about if it's a gaited horse, you can't lope them. I've done videos on that before. It's the biggest crock that they've ever told. You want to know why gaited horse trainers tell you that? It's because most of them can't do it. They can't do it. They've got a shank bit in them that long, they're sitting up there pulling on them all day long, hitting a lick down the road. Whenever you lope your horse, your gaits get better. The gaits will get better. It frees him up. And it also helps you get your seat. You riders that have no confidence and you riders that are scared, find you a place, find you somebody that will help you, and lope your horse. Lope your horse. If you want to get over all this, then lope your horse. Get comfortable on your horse. Because here's the deal. If your horse spooks and takes off, is he walking when he does that? Hell no, he ain't walking, he's a running. What are you going to do to stop it? What are you going to do to shut him down? I can tell you one thing you're going to do. You're going to do groundwork. You're going to teach that horse how to stop. You're going to teach that horse how to be soft. You're going to get the stiffness and the resistance out of him. And the only way you're going to do it is through groundwork. Now, that's my rant for today. But we're dealing with this on a daily basis. I'll tell you one more thing. Had a horse come in here that was spooky. We went through the groundwork. We done all of our stuff. I took him to the woods. Whenever I left the trailhead, there was kind of a briar hanging out. And it made a noise against my sleeve. And he tucked up, kind of like he was scared. Guys, you could barely hear it. So what did I do? I'm riding with two hands. I'm in a defensive position. I barely touched his mouth, and I sunk spur to him and said, quit it. What did the horse do? Come back down and went down the road. I rode him 10 miles and came back, and on the way back to the trailhead, there's a forest road there, and it used to go out this way. And the conservation had blocked it off with 4 great big huge rocks, bigger than this fireplace here. And we were coming down the trail and everything was wonderful, hadn't made a mistake. And he saw those rocks and perked his ears up, and you could just feel him swelling up like he was going to jump. You know what I did? Got a hold of him and pulled him around and said, get your butt down through here and quit it. And you know what he did? Dropped his head back down and went on. You are allowing your horses to be scared because you're not doing nothing about it. You're scared. So whenever you're scared and the horse is scared, and when you're scared, you're reinforcing the horse to be scared. Does that make sense? They're feeding off you. You're the rider. The horse is feeding off your emotions. He's feeling off your body. He feels everything about you. So my advice is get some help. And then when you do get some help, you need to go home and you need to practice being a leader with your horse. And you need to practice getting up there and acting like you own him, and you're going to go out here and enjoy the day on the trail. So anyway, that's about what I needed to say. And I think it needed to be said. If I've offended some of you, I'm sorry. But there's a bunch of people needs to hear what I'm saying. And just ride with attitude.